Hey everyone, today on our English in a Minute, we're going to be continuing our discussion of allegories. And I'm going to have a little bit of an apology ahead of time. You know how I've been liking to put all of the pictures that go along with it. I am crunched for time today, so there's not going to be a lot of photos to go along with today's English in a Minute, and I do apologize, but let's hop in. So I wanted to discuss two Dr. Seuss books. We talked about the Lorax earlier in the week, and today we're going to be discussing Yertle the Turtle and the Sneetches. So did you know that during World War II, Dr. Seuss was actually a political cartoonist, and he created illustrations that mocked Hitler and the Nazis, and his talent was weaving political messages into his work. And this ended up carrying over into his children's books, including Yertle the Turtle. On the surface, this story, followed a turtle king, and the king becomes power hungry, and he ends up stacking up all of his subjects beneath him so he can climb higher. He has relentless greed, and this leads to his downfall. So you have to ask yourself, does this sound familiar? So many people interpret Yertle the Turtle as an allegory for the rise and fall of Adolf Hitler. And whether or not that was Dr. Seuss's, direct intent, the story clearly serves as a critique of totalitarianism and autocratic governments. It also helps to highlight how oppressive leaders can exploit their people. Think about it. The Turtle King is climbing up on his subjects. And ultimately, it shows what happens when we undermine individual freedom. The weight of tyranny will topple down. So number 2, let's talk about the Sneetches. So this is another Dr. Seuss story, and I'm not going to lie, it's not one that I read a ton as a kid, but I vaguely remember it when I saw the cover. So this story captivates young readers because it's got some quirky characters and playful rhymes like most Dr. Seuss stories do. And it follows a group of creatures who are obsessed with their differences. Some of them have stars on their bellies and some of them do not have stars on their bellies. And the ones with the stars on their bellies feel completely superior to the Sneetches that do not have any stars on their bellies at all. And so an opportunistic businessman comes around and he convinces them to spend all of their money trying to change their appearances. But he's constantly switching which one is better, having stars or not having stars. And in the end, the Sneetches finally realize that their differences are kind of meaningless and they're more alike than they thought. So children, again, enjoy the story at its face value, but older readers, we recognize, that deeper meaning that's happening. And the Sneetches is a powerful allegory about the absurdity of prejudice and discrimination, particularly racism. So it's very clever, it's engaging. Dr. Seuss is always great for that. And this has been your English in a Minute.